Hey everybody, welcome to TFT Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with Oberon and me, Banshee. And it's me, Banshee, back for my Material Matters segment, your weekly tarot keys to success in business, education, and finance. And it's good to be back. I'll be in the chat when you see this on Sunday. Hopefully you'll be joining us. And I'll be chatting it up with everybody coming to the video. So I hope everybody had a good week materially, financially. It was not a good week last week. School shooting and terrible things that have been happening. We can't recover from one, the shooting in Buffalo, and here we go again. So let's focus on the material right now, though, and see what is going on in our individual lives regarding finance, jobs, career. All right. And as always, I start with a card for the collective. And today, again, last day of the month. Looks like I'll switch up decks next month again. Be using the Sacred Creators Oracle by Chris Ann. All right. Oh, I think I'm liking this. It's interesting because it is number 2 in this deck, which also is the High Priestess card in the tarot. And I think it kind of corresponds to that. The card is Overrate Your Intuition. Sounds interesting. And easy to find. Number 2 right at the beginning. Whoops. Except I went too far. Too far. All right. Overrate your intuition. Overrate your intuition every single time. This cheeky crystal ball is winking at you, baby. It's saying you already know the answer. Quiet your mind and listen for the nudges of your soul. It is speaking to you, and it's time to pay attention to your gut reactions, hunches, and best guesses. When you tune into the language of metaphor and dreams, you will notice the subtle signs that are continuously directing you, and your unconscious mind has some potent messages for you right now. If you run into an old friend or make a serendipitous connection with someone, it is meant to be noticed. If something feels untrue, it is meant to be noticed. There are no coincidences at the moment, and your intuition is a powerful tool that is becoming even stronger. Bask in the knowledge that whatever you do next will be exactly right for you. So long as you check in with your heart and decide what feels good and what feels off. If something feels right, you won't be disappointed by the experience it provides. So, what are your personal indications that your intuition is speaking to you? Where do you feel it in the body? What does a yes feel like? A no? Can you think of a time that you chose not to trust your intuition and learned how powerful it actually was as a result? I think we've all had those moments, including we who are more in tune with our intuition. You just miss signals sometimes. Also, if you go against what it's saying, sometimes you have to. I've been in a situation where I knew what was going to happen, but I had to let it play out. There's just no other way. I had to let it play out. And my intuition was right. So, there are times where you just, especially in the business world, let's think about this now. There are a lot of people who rely on gut instinct, gut feelings to make wise choices, investments, to move their money around. Hey, life is a gamble no matter how you slice it. So, if you're going to gamble, make sure it feels right inside before you do. All right, so that's our message for the collective for today. Interesting and powerful for the last message from this deck for maybe a month or two as we switch it up. All right, so these readings are good for the week of May 29th through June 4th. Brought my big paper out because there's some stuff happening. First off, the moon is going from Taurus, Gemini on Sunday, the 29th. It's transiting. And then it's going into Leo, and it'll be traveling through to Leo on June 4th. The new moon is going to be on May 30th, and it will be in the sign of Gemini. All right, everybody, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Mercury is going direct on Friday, June 3rd. Woohoo! And I'm going to tell you the exact time, 4 a.m., and I believe it's Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, it'll be early. Woo!
We'll go live.
We'll go live and celebrate. That is, if our computer won't die on us. It's the last hurrah of Mercury. Of course, there's a shadow period after, so you got to be ready for that. However, no rest for the bleary because Saturn goes retrograde on Saturday, June 4th. Out of the frying pan and into the karmic fire, huh? Anyway, we also are celebrating Memorial Day in the United States. Our service people who have died in the line of service on May 30th of that day. That's Memorial Day. And Shavuot, a Jewish celebration, is on June 4th, and that has to do with the Torah, I believe.
We call that a holiday.
We call it a holiday. It's true.
Wikipedia.
Okay.
It celebrates the finding or the taking of the Torah to Mount Sinai.
My producer is earning his money today. So thank you, Mr. Producer.
For a refund.
And looked up some factoids for me on that feast, that holiday, which I was not familiar with. All right, so enjoy our Jewish friends, your celebrations, and everybody commemorating, and our veterans, and everybody who celebrates Memorial Day.
It's also a wheat or grain harvest.
Oh, it's a wheat or grain harvest? Yeah. Awesome. Wow, well then
Almost
I'm on it.
Taken.
All right. All right. Well, let's get started with our outlook for the week ahead. We start with our air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This reading is for you. Let's see what you can lift up for yourselves this week ahead. All right. One more. Whoa, getting ahead of myself there. Whoa, hey. Well, your focus for the week ahead. It's justice reversed. Something's not sitting right here for you air signs at the beginning of this week. You might be mulling over some unfairness in the workplace. Perhaps some employees are bringing up concerns. If you are a manager, supervisor, or executive of some sort, you're dealing with issues related to justice, to things out of balance, somebody feeling they are being treated unfairly. I mean, on some levels, this could indicate lawsuits. This could indicate actual things like that, arbitration, settling of grievances. So you may be in it, but you've got to be careful this week, air signs, to be sure that, if you are in a position of judging a situation like this, that you are playing fair, that you are being fair and objective to all sides involved. And for others who feel that they are being treated unjustly or unfairly in some regard, this could even be students who feel that they're not being graded properly by professors, etc. We have a fan going, so I think it's knocking my card down. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for what's right, what you feel is right. How best can you prepare for that focus? The Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is reversed too. So I'm getting a picture here. I'm not sure if this is it. It does seem to me like it could involve work. It could involve maybe some things that you felt you were the most capable person of taking on, and that you should have been given a particular assignment, but somebody else was bumped ahead of you for it. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe so the thing is, maybe what you need to do is the best way to prepare for this focus is to show your worth, show your value, and to make sure that they see the good side of you. Don't get aggressive, don't get pushy, but show them through appropriate action that you are the right person for the job, or that you deserve this fair treatment. I mean, if you go at them with a very negative attitude and with anger as opposed to with resolve, I really feel there's a difference here. You can fight for yourself without getting angry, by using facts, by stating your case clearly, concisely, by getting appropriate legal counsel. Don't do anything that would make them feel even worse about you. Okay, well, what about people this week? Will there be cooperation or conflict? Well, I'll tell you, you might be standing alone on this one, air signs. You may have to stand up for yourself. I look at this Fool reversed here, and I feel that people may support you, in your efforts. Let's say even that you are taking on a cause that's bigger than just you. You feel like your entire department is being railroaded. Maybe they're dissolving the department and moving people into different positions. You might have to stand up for yourself or your department on this. They feel it's too risky. I think that people are looking for a leader right now to step up and take the risk for them. Now, that doesn't seem very fair, does it? But the thing is, sometimes you have to do what's right and not worry about who's standing with you and who's standing against you. And ultimately, will there be forward or backward movement, or no movement at all for you, air signs? Hey, it looks like this is going to be a tough week. There's some disappointments, there's some setbacks. I feel like there might be some news that is troubling, or that, you will feel bad about. So, on some level, it may be a lost cause, but if something's worth fighting for, it's worth fighting for, And so you have to decide ultimately if you're going to abandon ship like others are, or if you're willing to take, whatever this brings, for good or bad. So I don't see progress for you. I see some setbacks. Let's look at this again real quick, because I spent a lot of time here already, I think. But the Justice card in the Ace of Wands indicates, I feel, there's some upsets probably in a workplace or probably with some area of management, I feel maybe, or maybe you are the manager who is dealing with and arbitrating a very sticky situation. And, there could be some anger or aggressiveness involved. Make sure that's not on your part. Be the level-headed person in the room, whether you're trying to sort all of this out or whether you yourself are the complainant. You want to put your best self forward. Because others are just very nervous right now. They're not willing to help out. They're kind of like, well, hey, this is your fight, not ours. Or if you want to fight for us, fine, but I can't take that risk right now. They're not in the mood to get on board with this because they are too afraid right now, I feel. And ultimately, by week's end, there may be some blowback from this for you standing up for yourself, but you know what? You are willing to do it, and once you're willing to do that, you realize that there is going to be risks involved one way or another. It could turn out positive, it could turn out negative. And you have to be willing, but you know what? If you feel strongly enough about what you're doing, it's a risk you're willing to take. And then, in the next week or two, maybe you'll figure out where to go from here. So that's what I have for you, air signs. Hey, Mercury is still going direct. And remember that first week, it's still in its shadow. And this may be affecting you, adversely too. I could sort of see some of that here. All right. Hey, fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This reading is for you. Let's hope things aren't quite that hot for you guys. And if it is hot, it's in a better way. Like striking while the iron is hot. Okay, fire signs. Let's see what's in store for us this week. Okay, your focus for the week ahead is the Three of Wands. Wow, hey, look at us, fire signs. We're just waiting for something to happen or develop. Maybe some of us have put out some job applications. Maybe others of us have finished a project or assignment or got some new accounts and are waiting for, news of bonuses or praise. Possibly some of us might be waiting for a promotion that they're pretty sure is coming in. So why not now, let's not stop there. By all means, let's not stop there. Let's start visioning and thinking about what could be in store once those ships do come in. What's your next step? What's your next plan? Start thinking ahead. Because, it's always good to think ahead. It's always good, the Page of Pentacles says, to, hey, be ready for the next new thing. New opportunities may be coming. And that's why, just because you've had one success doesn't mean you should stop there. You should be ready to move on to the next and expect that greater opportunities await you, fire signs. I like it. But what about people this week? Will there be cooperation or conflict or maybe just a little slacking? Well, we got to remember, too, that this is a holiday week in America. It may be other things going on elsewhere, but I can speak in the U.S. that, on a holiday week, a shorter week, some people might be traveling. Others are coming back to work after a long weekend, maybe a little lackadaisical. So, you got to maybe try to get people on track and on board for you. It's just, they're just not in a very motivated place, this week. So will there be forward or backward movement or no movement at all for the fire signs? Okay, well, we've got the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is reversed. So you might have a little bit of trouble holding things together this week. It might be because we can't get everybody focused. It might be because, so you lose your edge a little bit. It might be because you can't pull enough people, your advisors and people together to be working on, the new opportunities and things that you want to have happen. So you lose a little bit of ground, I think, by week's end. I don't believe, because on the, plus side, there's so much positive energy going on here, that it's going to be really bad. But I do feel you're going to be a little bit disappointed this week that you couldn't get a little bit more accomplished, or you couldn't have gotten a little bit more further ahead. So let's take a look at this again. The Three of Wands indicates that, hey, something is coming in for you. You might be getting news about that soon. For you people who have put out job applications, maybe a call will be coming. Maybe for those of you who have interviewed, an offer will be coming. It's almost as if you're really anticipating this. And so now's the time of thinking where you're going to take this next step. Where is this going to lead you? Vision your future and what you see happening for yourself there. So that page is definitely a harbinger of good news, possibly bringing good new opportunities to you and new beginnings. Well, people around you, though, it's like they are a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow, a little bit non-motivated. It could be because it's, a holiday week. It could be for any number of reasons. They're just not with it. So, you may have to, a lot of the things that you might accomplish, may get a little bit bogged down when it comes to you're having to collaborate or get others involved. And ultimately, maybe because of that, it looks as though you may lose a little bit of ground this week. It's possible that you may not be able to accomplish everything that you had wanted to. One thing I'm thinking of here too is that maybe, some news is coming, but you might not quite achieve this by the end of the week. Maybe that's what it is, because people just can't get it together. For example, maybe the people that are reviewing, the job applicants for a job you applied for are still thinking about it. It will probably come through, but there are some delays, due to people and, their lack of motivation or drive or inability just to get it done for you. All right. Hey, water, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This is for you for the week ahead. My goodness, I am thirsty. This is Banshee's reminder during the water sign reading to hydrate. Hydrate in the summer. Hydrate all the time. Okay, water signs. Let's see what the tide is bringing in for you in the week ahead. It's the Hierophant. The Hierophant is reversed. So, hey, water signs, how about starting this week off with a different approach, a fresh approach to things, a fresh approach to problems you may have, a fresh approach to your workflow for the week ahead. Shake things up a little bit. Don't be afraid to do things differently. This is a reverse card, just talks about thinking outside the box. So it's an ideal week, for brainstorming as well. It looks like maybe get a group together and say, hey, why don't we come up with a new and different approach to things? What are your ideas? And solicit them. How best can you prepare for that focus? There you are. Trumpets blaring. It's judgment, water signs. So why are the trumpets blaring for you? Well, maybe they're trying to wake you up in telling you, hey, it's time to try something new. Maybe, whether things are going good, obviously, when things are going good, sometimes we want to maintain and stay that course. But it might also be a good time to experiment and see what other techniques or things, ways of doing things, what it can bring you. New products, new ideas for new products. See what it can do. Or if things are going bad, it's time to shake things up and do things differently, isn't it? Because clearly what you have been doing is not working. So whatever the case may be, it kind of, I think, tells you this is a time. Wake up, shake up. Wake up, shake up things in the way, in your financial realm or in your material realm. What about people this week? Will there be cooperation or conflict? Well, people are a little bit unsupportive this week. They're maybe more into their own issues and concerns. They may not be available if you try to reach out, to advisors and people for help. Your employees may be focused on getting certain things done, and they don't want to hear about any of this stuff. They just want to get through their own, problems the way they're comfortable. They're not willing to give. They're not willing to give a lot. So ultimately, will there be forward or backward movement or no movement at all for you? Well, the Hangman is reversed here, and I feel that the Hangman reversed could be saying that by week's end, I think because maybe of the lack of cooperation or support you might be getting from others this week, that, hey, you're not that willing to sacrifice much for them either. So you're going to go it alone. You're going to do things on your own and take care of you, instead of taking care of others. So let's see what this means again in retrospect here. I feel there's some, and looking at this also, you have 2 reversed, but you have 3 of the 4 cards being major arcana cards. And so this is kind of a weighty reading for you. I feel here with the Hierophant reversed water signs that this is a time to shake things up a little bit. Do things differently, think differently in how you approach your finances, how you approach your investments, where you want to put your money, how you approach, your job and how you do your work. Maybe how others are working around you. Maybe it's time for a reorganization. This is a wake-up call, basically, is what this is saying. How best to prepare for this is recognize that, for some time maybe now, you've come to the realization that you have to shake things up a little bit in order to keep success going or in order to succeed if you've been hitting hard times. But people around you, they're kind of not wanting to give in to this. They're kind of wanting to stick with what they're doing. They don't seem to be in the mood for change. So ultimately, with that in mind, you may just have to say, okay, you do you, I'm going to do me, and hey, if I leave you in the dust, I leave you in the dust. You have to look out for yourself sometimes. So if it means letting some people go or leaving, who are not fitting in, or switching up who does your financial management and things like that, who offers you advice, then do so. Maybe that might be what you have to do by week's end. Wow, water. Interesting reading for you. Good luck with that. Hey, earth signs. Everything is so green out here. We've been getting just enough rain in our area, and everything is green. Green, green. I hope it is for you earth signs in the week ahead. Your focus for the week ahead. The King of Swords is reversed. All right. Well, your focus for the week ahead is on, well, it's on clearing your head a little bit, number one. Hey, there you go. Let me get you right. Oh, my. I think I'm just going to put it there for the moment. So the King of Swords reversed is about clearing your head, thinking clearly, using your brain, but also maybe it's saying, I'm really looking at this now and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If you have really important decisions to make, financial, business-wise, maybe you ought to put it off till conditions are a little better. Mercury is still not totally right for one, and the King of Swords is just not in his thinking mode. Maybe there's a lot of distractions around you right now, and also be careful too, not to be too hard on your workforce. Don't expect too much from them this week as well. I could see you almost, you supervisors and bosses out there pushing people just a little bit too hard, and they may feel like they're at the breaking point right now. Now, how best can you prepare for this focus? Well, maybe part of the problem is here, Earth signs, that the Five of Cups is upright and you're dwelling on setbacks, recent setbacks and losses, and you're worried. Maybe you're wrapped up in your worries right now and unable to really think your way out of that, because you do have some resources and things to work with here, but, you have to have a clear head and make sound decisions on how, number one, not to squander it, to make sure you're utilizing it to the best of, your knowledge and abilities, and also to make sure you can make it grow, not just utilize it, but make it grow, because it's all you have left. So you have a lot on your mind, and I think that, until you can kind of focus more on, what next steps should be, rather than dwell on what has been, this could be a problem. But unlike others this week, you can look to people around you for some strength and support. It looks as though people here want to help, and they want to, and they want to approach you. They might approach you in subtle ways, dropping you little hints. So look for little signals that people are telling you of what you need to get done. I see people being very, very supportive of you this week. So will there be forward or backward movement, or no movement at all for you guys in this week ahead? Okay, well, we have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is reversed. I think there's no clear-cut victories for you this week, Earth signs. Just want to move that over a little bit. I think that, it just seems like you just don't feel it. You don't feel like you've accomplished anything. I do feel, though, that if you have the support of others, that's a positive in the week ahead that you can maybe run with moving forward. But there's no clear-cut victory for you this week. I don't know if there's any losses per se, but I don't feel there's anything to cheer about and get excited about. So let's look at this again and try to put it all together. This is just a week maybe to lay low, which again might be why we have the outcome we have here. With the King of Swords reversed, it just seems like you're not in a good space headwise right now to make a decision. Your judgment may be cloudy. Maybe you're angry about some recent losses. Be sure not to take it out on your employees if you're management. You're all in this together and you need them to help you get out of this mess. So do be aware of not taking a very aggressive approach with others at this time. In other words, kind of lay low and let things kind of settle. And right here is part of the problem. We're focusing on disappointment related to loss. And so you have to get your head thinking more in terms of, where do we go from here? The past is the past. I need to let it go. I need to not focus on who did what, but let's focus on what I can get them to do now to make this right again. So focus on that, because others, maybe they've made some mistakes. Maybe they've fed into this feeling that you have here of loss. Maybe they're part of the problem, but they want to be supportive. So why not give them the tools and the resources and the knowledge that they need to move the things forward for you, and also to listen to advice that they may have for you. And you might get it in subtle ways. Maybe right now, because they sense you're angry and a little bit disappointed, they may have a little bit of problems approaching you directly. So you may find some of this out in indirect ways, or signs. Ultimately, by week's end, this leads to really nothing to really cheer about, but it doesn't seem like you're going to suffer any more losses. You're just trying to get things straight so you can move forward. And like I said, maybe this is just a week to regroup, just try to pull everybody together and to listen to others at this time. That's the best I can say. Good luck with that, Earth signs. Kind of a wonky week for everybody, and I do sense, this is some of the ideas with Mercury and, the planets shifting. We also have Saturn now going retrograde, so hang in there. I think it's just a week of a little bit of contention. Nothing too serious, I feel, for everybody overall. So thanks everybody for joining me today. Hey, why don't you join my partner in crime, Mr. O, every Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for his Goth Tarot, where you can find out about some of the shadow issues in your life. You got a little bit of pent-up anger or a little bit of, bottled up emotions going on or blockages somewhere. Watch Goth Tarot and get some solutions. And don't forget he does his emotional exchanges 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday morning. Join him for the outlook on the love and emotional side of life. And we're back. Happy Hour is here every Saturday. We had such a good time on this last Saturday's Happy Hour. Do join us. Come and get a positive message from Spirit. Normally 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday morning, and this Saturday will be the same. All right. Join us for our live streams for longer readings, Sundays and Thursdays, 2 to 4 p.m. Sundays, 7 to 9 p.m. Thursdays, Eastern Standard Time. Take care, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Prove my cards wrong. I challenge you to do so. Take care, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.